guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a August recap and a September TBR. I'm very excited to make this video because honestly, August recaps or any month recap of books that you've read are like my favorite types of videos to watch, especially when Steph Rohr makes them. I'm hopefully saying her last name right. She's one of my favorite book YouTubers, and her monthly reading wrap-ups are like my favorite thing ever. So I decided to make one. I read some pretty good books in August and some books in August. You'll see I literally have my little list here. In total, I read, give me a second. I read 7 books in the month of August. Honestly, I would read more, but I got busy because I started school super early and then I had to prepare for nursing, which starts literally tomorrow. I am not excited. I am excited, but I'm more so nervous. So that's why I really couldn't read that many books. You know what? They were still super good, and my TBR for September, it has 6 books, and hopefully I can add more onto that. But for now, I just kept my list short because I know school is gonna take up a lot of time for me this year, and I know I won't have time for reading books, so I just decided to keep my list short and sweet. Without further ado, let's just get on with the video. Do that. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. The first book I'm going to start with is Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. I read this with a friend. We kind of like book clubbed it, if you will. First started off with 5 chapters each day, but literally the first 5 chapters we were like, okay, we need to read more than 5 chapters a day. So we ended up doing 7 chapters a day, and then after 7 chapters a day we were just like, this book is kind of short compared to other books we've read before, so let's just read the entire thing and then regroup and talk about what the heck happened in this book. I loved doing that. We're gonna read so many other books together now. But Brutal Prince, it's an arranged marriage. It's a mafia book. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a dark romance. I mean, it could be a dark romance, but it's not dark romance. But yeah, like the girl character, she was definitely like a badass, but at times I really like didn't like her because she didn't let herself just like take like just stay like, if I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like someone out there is just gonna be like, yeah girl, I totally understand you. Well, that's such a lie. She was kind of annoying sometimes, but overall she was good because when she had her moments with our guy character, beautiful. I tell you, this guy character from the start, me and my friend, we were like, he's gonna fall first for her and he's gonna be so overprotective of her, and he is. He's very possessive, he's very overprotective, and at times she had to be like, you know, this does not mean anything. We're fake married, you know that, right? Not fake married, but like, we don't like each other, we're enemies, like, what, like, you don't understand that? Because he would be like, that's my wife you're talking about. That's how you know lines have blurred. When he automatically just goes, you don't talk to my wife like that, that's when you know lines have like blurred. Overall, this book was like a 4 out of 5. It's a mafia romance. It is a mafia romance, but just not very dark, and it is fast-paced. So if you don't like fast-paced romance, then I definitely don't suggest this book. It's perfect. Plus the fast pace of it all, like, it was perfect for this book. If it was written in another book, like how fast things were going, it would have been a terrible book. But for this book, it somehow all made sense that like all of this was happening. And the spice in this, 10 out of 10. I absolutely love it. So yeah, Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. Next on my list is The Doctor by Nikki Sloan. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have, oh, this is like kind of a really hard trope to like say somehow. This is my ex's dad. When I told the guy I'm talking to that I was reading this book, he definitely he definitely rethought of talking to me, and that's for sure. This book is, I want to say it's kind of like a novella. It seemed very short to me. The smut in this, if I could whistle, I would. Like no, I can't, I'm not even gonna try. The smut in this, wow, like 5 out of 5. So good. It definitely had me like captivated. This entire story, like the plot is also very good. There's some parts, you know, where the guy is like, we can't do this, you're my son's ex, and she's like, I know, like, oh, like we shouldn't be doing this, but we're gonna do it anyway. It's just my favorite thing ever to read. And honestly, I enjoyed this book a lot, like a lot. Like, it was one of my favorite reads of August. It was quick, it was easy. I love the little moments they had together, like romance wise, because there is a lot of smut in this book. Like I feel like sometimes there's like 2 chapters where it's like smut after smut after smut, but in general, the small romance they had, like in things of like him texting her and like just I loved it. And honestly, I would, if I could read this book again, I would, because I just want the same reactions again, and I want to feel my emotions again, because like it's not a plot twist, but something does happen kind of close to the end of the book, and I'm just like, why did this have to happen? Why today, out of all days, this had to happen? It's definitely a book that you can get like in a day. You can read it. I read it in a day. So if you like quick smut, if you like age gaps, if you like doctors, because he's a doctor, so he's good with his hands, that's all I'm gonna say. Those are the only tropes I can think of, but if you like all of those, then definitely read The Doctor by Nikki Sloan. Next, Bad Habit by Charlie Rose. I'm hoping that I'm saying her name right, because it's spelled a different way, so it could be Charlotte Rose or Charlie Rose. Listen. As soon as I started, I was so excited to read this book, because like it's called Bad Habits, it's bad boy, good girl, it's you know, there's an age gap, there is my brother's best friend. Like, I was so excited to read this book, because I eat up my brother's best friend all the damn time. It's one of my all-time favorite tropes, next to my best friend's brother. Like, I love it. And next to Grumpy X Sunshine. And this has Grumpy X Sunshine. But here's my problem. Not only, so when they get together, she's 14, 15, and he is out of high school. That is a major no-no. Like, at first when I was reading it, I was like, she seems so young, but I was thinking that he was like a senior and that she was like a sophomore, so 16, 17 or 16, 18. That would have been way better than 14, 15, 18, 19-year-old. I was so meh. And the next thing I was creeped out is like, he called her baby girl a lot. And I absolutely hate the word baby girl. It's just not cute, and I simply do not like it. And this entire plot, I was just like, this is kind of weird. And like, I was so confused. Like, half of the time I was like, what just happened? Or I don't know if it was the book on how it's written, or if it was just me and I was just like, I don't like this book already. I'm not gonna pay that much attention to it, like to small minor details. But the entire time, I was just like, what is going on? Especially at the plot twist, I was just like, what is going on? Okay, like this entire book, that's literally all I was saying this entire book. I was like, BFFR. Be fucking for real. I don't know, I just did not like this book. I'm so sorry. I feel like if I read another Charlie Rose books, maybe it'll get better, but Bad Habits was just not for me. Then I read Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. Lauren Asher has never let me down, and reading this, she did not let me down. It is Marriage of Convenience, which I love a good marriage of convenience. Then we also have Grumpy X Sunshine, and like the Sunshine, she's not naive, and she's not like, she doesn't let people walk all over her. She's like a badass. She like stands up for herself, and I absolutely loved that. Book was so good. So good. I love their dynamic. I love their banter. I love how easily he's just like, yeah, she's my assistant. Like, I freaking need her. Like, she, like, I have no words. This book is so good. My most favorite part is Lauren Asher has another series called the Dirty Air series, and it's like a based off of Formula One racing. She mentions characters from that series in this book. Let me tell you, as soon as I read the name Santiago, I was like, hello, that is my baby, man. Oh my god, I was like so excited. I literally could not contain my emotions. I was like, Santiago, I love you so much. I love you. He was literally my favorite book out of the entire series. It goes the 4th book, 2nd book, 1st book, 3rd book. Yeah, that's my whole entire thing on the Dirtier series. But literally, Terms and Conditions was such a good book. I absolutely like love Declan and Iris. They were a match made in heaven, and I have zero complaints about this book. The smut was amazing. Them getting together, the pushing away, the coming back together, pushing away, the blur of the lines. That's what I love about fake dating or marriage of convenience or like arranged marriages in books, is that when lines start to blur, that's when the story just gets really good, because like, especially that's in dual point of view, so you get to see both of the characters' point of views. You see a lot of like, I like her so much, and like, I want to be with her, but we're married. Like, we're married, and like, this is all gonna like go away in like a year or two. Like, this, she won't be mine. Or like, oh my gosh, like, he kissed me. Like, that felt so real, but it's all a game. Beautiful, beautiful. This entire book was so good. I loved it. 10 out of 10. Next is Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. So this is part of the Twisted series. I had read the 1st book, and I haven't read the 2nd or 3rd book, but I went straight to the 4th book. I don't know why. I think you can read them as standalones, but I just like chose to read Twisted Lies. Oh my gosh. So good. Let me tell you something. Fake dating in this book, 5 out of 5. It was a 5 out of 5 for me. I absolutely loved Twisted Lies. I love how she's like some sort of influencer. I love how he has a fake account just so he can see her, because he is head of like a security company. So he's like, he's like very anti-social media. He's like, why would I put my life out there? Like, no. And like, social media is her job. So when worlds collide, it's an amazing book. I loved it so much, and it makes me so giddy because of things he did. Like, I read this book like in the early August, so I can't really remember like really like big details, but like just him doing things for her, and like him being so overprotective of her, and him being like he's like obsessed with her from the moment that he meets her. He's obsessed with her, and that's what I really like. Literally, like, I like my man obsessive, like, and he's overprotective as well. But one of my favorite things ever is the way he's like, so whenever she doesn't post about them or like hasn't posted like herself in a while, he's like, why haven't you posted? And she's like, why are you, what? Like, what do you care if I post? But like inside, he's like, bro, she hasn't posted me. Like, what? Like, what's going on? Because he follows her on social media and she doesn't know. So good. The smut, the romance, the build-up. Because there is a plot twist in this book. And I was just like, oh. Wow. I did not see that coming. And my favorite scene ever, it's all over Book Talk. It's when he goes to Ava's house. Ava and her fiance or husband's house. I don't know if at the time they were fiance or husband. And he knocks. And he's like, if you don't come out here. And then her husband goes, don't you finish that sentence, Harper. When I read that, giggled and kicked my feet. But in general, this book was amazing and I loved it, and I recommend it to everyone that literally is like, do you have like any book recs? I'm like, Twisted Lies. Twisted Lies. Next, I read, oh my goodness, I read the Bailey Brothers series in August. I'm an absolute lunatic for that. I completely forgot that those are 6 books. I read 12 books in August. Okay, that is actually not that bad. I completely forgot that I had read the Bailey Brothers series. That I actually read the entire series and not just one book. So, the Bailey Brothers series by Clara Kingsley, so good. The entire series together is just 5 out of 5. I absolutely love this series with my entire heart. So yeah, there's 6 books in this series. And the first 2 books are on the same characters, Grace and Asher. The first book is childhood best friends to acquaintances to lovers. So good. Their romance was so cute and so sweet. I love Asher so much. He's such a, I don't know, he's like one of my favorite book boyfriends. He's like so about Grace and has always been about her. He literally said the second chapter, he was like, I've always been in love with her. There's like this one quote that I really like. I'm not saying it word for word, but I like, there's one where he goes like, yeah, Gavin, Levi, and Logan love her, but like as a sister. And I don't think I ever loved Grace as a sister. Like, that's just gross to me. And I'm just like, okay, that's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. He's never seen her as like a sister. He's always just been like so in love with her. And then the second book, it's also Grace and Asher, and this is a second chance romance. And the reason why it's a second chance romance is because there is a plot twist at the end of the first book, and you're just gonna have to read it to find out what it is, because I'm not giving it away, no ma'am. But the first 2 books were amazing, 5 out of 5. I genuinely loved how their relationship like was built and how like all the things they went through, and it's a beautiful book. I love it. And the smut, loved it. Hi, this is future me editing this video. The rest of my explanation for all like the rest of like the Bailey Brothers series books, it's a disaster and it's not explained well. Now that the 3rd, 4th, and 5th book of like the Bailey Brothers series, so good. I love them, and in general they're such really good books. The 4th book I didn't like as much because it just let me down. It was kind of boring, but the 5th and 6th book, they were really good. The 3rd book was amazing. So just read the series. It's really good. Don't let my opinion was like horrible and like did not deserve what I said. Just know that my favorite book is Evan's book. So the order goes Evan, Asher, Logan, Levi, Gavin. But overall, the entire Bailey Brothers series, one of my favorite series ever, and like I absolutely love them. And Evan is another book boyfriend that I wish existed in real life. My final book in August, I feel like this is such a long video, but my final book in August was, drumroll please, Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. I'm finally reading the Devil's Night series, and people were like, girl, you're gonna be so shook when you read certain scenes. Let me tell you, I was shook. It's definitely an age gap romance, kind of not. It's definitely a dark romance for sure. I would 100% read trigger warnings for this book. The amount of times that, like, trigger warning rape is mentioned, I'm just like, okay. Like, rape to them is just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's mentioned heavily in this book, and chapters, I think, go from past and present. So a lot of the times in, like, the present chapters, it's like he knows what he did 60 years ago or like 7 years ago, and then it cuts back to that time. So definitely past and present, but I absolutely loved this book. Like 10 out of 10. Like, it was really good. I didn't like that she forgave Michael that quick and Kai that quick and Will that quick, but oh, what can I do? It's a dark romance. It's not supposed to be, you know, romanticized whatsoever. But yeah, literally loved Michael and Erica. They were a really cute couple at times. There's one specific scene that I love that's like, I can get you fucking flowers too if you want, and we can be boring, but that's not us. And I'm like, that's not y'all, and I love that. I love how he, like, 100% has been obsessed with her since, like, the beginning of time. And I'm just so excited to continue reading The Devil's Night. I can't really say that much because I haven't read the entire series. There's Kai's book, Damon's book, and Will's book, I believe, and I'm on Kai's book right now, Hideaway. Kai is one of the ones that I really wanted to read, and also Damon's book. I really want to read his book to see why he's that fucked up in the head. Like, I'm just like, bro, you're, like, seriously fucked up. Like, you need therapy. Like, you need therapy. But right now I'm on Kai's book, and so far it's so good. I'm only in chapter 2. But it's okay. We're gonna read that. That was my August, like, book recap. I read a lot of books. They were all good. There were only, like, 2 bad ones, or, like, 1 bad one. Yeah, there was only, like, 1 bad one, and the rest were amazing books. And it's because I watch a lot of Steph Bora videos, and I watch a lot of book talk videos based on these, like, the tropes that I like. So yeah, and then for my TBR for September, I have The Pool Boy by Nikki Sloan, which is the second book in the trilogy of Nikki Sloan, of, you know, like, the architect and, like, the doctor. Then I have Bad Boys Break Hearts by Michaela Smeltzer, I believe that's how you say her name, and I'm already reading it. I'm like 50% done with it, so I'll get back to you guys with that. Hideaway by Penelope Douglas. Blindsided by Amy Dawes. I've heard that it's very, like, he's a jock and she, like, helps him, kind of like one of the off-campus books where she, like, helps him study for, like, a test or something. I heard that that's in that book, and that really interested me. Then I have The Spy, and I'm actually book clubbing that book with a friend, so we're gonna start it tomorrow, I believe. And then The Sweetest Oblivion by Danielle Laurie. I read this book when it was, like, super popular on Book Talk, but since it was super popular on Book Talk, I, like, only read it because of Book Talk and not because I was actually interested in the book, and I completely skimmed through the entire thing. I can't even tell you what the book is about, so I'm excited to read it again and actually, like, read the book and annotate it and everything. But yeah, that was my August recap and my September TBR. Let me know if I should make a September recap and then an October TBR. I will 100% make that video. I'm also going to be vlogging my first day of school, which is on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to show you guys my getting ready process, my, you know, little vlog at school if I can, and, like, everything. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!